What's going on? How y'all doing on here? We finna get ready to get started. We're gonna start with the Truth League report. We're gonna talk the NFC South. So y'all better get ready. We're gonna have some fun. So Bucks fans, Panthers fans, Saints fans, Falcons fans, this is your day. So y'all better come on in. We finna get started right here on the Truth League report.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Truth League report. And we are going to have us a really good time. I'm going to bump in just a little bit of music as we get this show going. What's going on, y'all? Welcome into the Truth League report. My name is Chris, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. For some of you who do not know me, welcome into the show. And a little bit about myself. I am from Memphis, Tennessee. I've lived in Nashville. I'm an avid Tennessee Titans fan, but I'm decided to branch out a little bit and talk some NFL. So if you're a Panthers fan, keep pounding. If you're a Falcons fan, rise up. If you're a Bucks fan, go Bucks. Or if you're a Saints fan, WhoDat. Y'all come on in, and we're going to have us a good time as we talk NFC South. We're going to talk about the all these teams. We're going to see who's going to win this division, how are these teams are going to do, and some of the questions that I have going into this upcoming season for these teams. And if you're not a fan of the show, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, to Titans of Truth. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. You can share it out on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. And as you can see on the screen right here, there are some pages you can also join as well. And it's also on the ticker at the bottom. You got on Facebook, I have a TNT Enforcers fan page. I also have the Titans and Truth official page as well, where all the episodes will come out. On Twitter, you can follow me at TNT Blue Enforcer, and also on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. So you definitely could go ahead and join that there. So definitely welcome on in to this show. And let's go ahead and let's get right into it right away as we get ready to talk about the NFC South, excuse me. And let's go ahead and get started with the Atlanta Falcons. And rise up. You know, the Falcons, they have that beautiful stadium down there in Atlanta in at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which I have yet to visit. I would definitely love to go to that stadium and see that personally. And so it's going to be, it is a beautiful stadium from the outside. But the Falcons, of course, finished 7-10 last year. One of the biggest impacts, of course, was a new era beginning with former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith taking over as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And also Calvin Ridley left mid-season, to deal with some mental health issues, but also he's dealing with a upcoming suspension, which the NFL has suspended him indefinitely, at least through this upcoming season. So unfortunately, new quarterback Marcus Mariota has lost probably one of the guys that could have been one of his weapons in Calvin Ridley. So, I mean, that's, I hate that happened for him, but, hopefully he gets the help that he needs mentally and is able to recover and be able to get back on. And so I'm sorry, I'm trying to share this show out. But yes, talking about who's returning for the Falcons, you got guys like Kyle Pitts, who, was highly touted out of Florida, and this guy is going to be a special tight end. He had 68 catches, 1,026 yards, only found the end zone one time, so he needs to find the end zone a little bit more. You got Cordell Patterson, who is a do-it-all player. Plays receiver, plays running back, kickoff returner, an excellent punt returner. He had over 1,166 all-purpose yards. That's running and receiving. I did not include the special teams yards, but he got in the end zone 11 times. And defensively, you have Deion Jones, the linebacker. The linebacker from in the defense for the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, he is an excellent linebacker, even though that defense did struggle quite a bit. Some additions that they made. Of course, they brought in Marcus Mariota to be their starting quarterback, so he gets a chance to redeem himself as a starter. Also, they bring in veteran cornerback Casey Hayward, formerly of Vanderbilt, and of course, formerly of the LA Chargers. And they bring in former Tennessee Titans linebacker Rashaan Evans as well. And really, they brought in about a quarter of former Titans to their roster, including Anthony Ferkser, Cam Batson, Michael Pruitt. So a lot of times I like to call the Falcons the NFC Tennessee Titans. So that's basically what they kind of are. And, some guys that they lost. Of course, again, I mentioned Calvin Ridley left the team and, of course, is dealing with a suspension. Foyesade Olaokun, the touted linebacker, went to Jacksonville. Russell Gage, the wide receiver, he went to Tampa Bay. And then, of course, Dante Fowler, a pass rusher, decided to take his talents down to Big D in Dallas. So they did lose some pieces, and we're going to see how they can recover from that. So let's take a look at their draft picks and who they brought in this in the 2022 draft. They went ahead and drafted Drake London. They drafted Drake London out of USC, who is a extremely talented receiver. Who's an extremely talented receiver. And I really like Drake London. I think he's a very good possession receiver. I don't know if he has the speed, but he is definitely an excellent receiver. Of course, you see in round 3, Desmond Ridder, the quarterback from Cincinnati. He could definitely push Marcus for that starting spot. I think it's Marcus's job beginning, but it depends on how Desmond Ridder looks in the preseason. But Desmond Ridder has shown some flashes in that first game against the Detroit Lions. And so I also see they got a defensive end, Arnold Ebektai. I know I pronounced his name probably incorrect, and I'm sorry about that to all the Falcon fans out there. But obviously, you could tell they wanted to definitely fix up on their defensive side of the ball, and also they wanted to get some help on the offensive line as well. And, they had to get a quarterback of the future, so they had to take a look at Desmond Ridder, who was there sitting in the third round, and he got picked up. Of course, the Titans got Malik Willis later, as none of the quarterbacks win the first round except for Kenny Pickett. So that's something that is that was something that was very, very interesting with that. But I like Desmond Ridder. I like Desmond Ridder quite a bit. I think he could be somebody that could be very, very impressive, as he learns the ropes under Marcus. I think he sits a year under Marcus, and then he'll come up there. Tighten Up says Drake is a good receiver. I think he is. I think he definitely is. He also says, I think the Falcons will surprise everybody this season. We're definitely going to find out. 615 Podcast, what's up with you? Welcome on in. And now I got some questions about the Atlanta Falcons. And, this is really where I am going to really, and this is where, again, I am no expert whatsoever on some of these teams. I'm learning them as I go. So I'm kind of a novice. So Falcon fans, don't come for my head if I got it wrong. If I'm like, hey, you didn't talk about this guy, or how you gonna say that? I'm like, hey, I love y'all opinions. I know I'm probably gonna get some stuff wrong. I'm learning as I go. Okay, so we're gonna get it together. But the first question I have is Mariota or Ritter at quarterback? That's gonna be the question that we see throughout this offseason. Who is going to be the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons? Right now, I think it's Marcus Mariota. I really think it's Marcus Mariota, and I don't think there's any questions about it that Marcus Mariota is the starting quarterback is going to be the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, at least starting out. And, you know, Desmond Ritter, I think, is definitely going to push him. Ritter is going to push him and, you know, try to make him better. So, you know, I like that opportunity there for Desmond Ritter. But I think Marcus wins the job. I think he is the starting quarterback. And, you know, we're going to see if Marcus has a chance to redeem himself. So I think it's Marcus Mariota. Can Drake London help replace Julio Jones? Can Drake London be that guy? I mean, you have no Calvin Ridley as well. So there's a lot on Drake London's plate that he's going to have to bring to the table, and he's going to have to really represent well and also make sure he stays healthy, because I know at USC, he did have some health issues as well. So, you know, that's something that, you know, you're going to have to, they're going to have to make sure that they work on it. And I'm sorry, Al, I'm trying to, like I said, share that out to everybody. So, you know, I like Drake London coming out of USC. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and hopefully that he can help produce with Kyle Pitts, because I like those two guys as weapons. Those two guys are probably going to be Marcus Mariota's very best targets. So I definitely do like both of those guys. Now, the other question is, can Dean Pease's defense make any improvements? This defense was not very good last year. One of their only bright spots, of course, is Deion Jones at linebacker, and also cornerback AJ Terrell, who actually played pretty well for the Falcons last year. He's going to be their number one shutdown corner. But the question is, with Grady Jarrett on that defensive line, you know, can the Falcons get better defensively? I mean, now you got Deion Jones, you got Rashaan Evans in there defensively. So that's going to be the question, is can this Falcon defense make some improvements and make some strides? You know, again, they also brought in Lorenzo Carter, the former first-round pick from Georgia, so he's back at home. Casey Hayward's going to be on the other side of A.J. Terrell. So, again, I think this Falcon defense does have a chance to get better and everything. So that's going to be the main question of that. And Dean Pease is a extremely smart individual. You know, he's an extremely smart defensive coach. So I don't have any doubt that they can fix this. They can fix it. I think they'll get better. And I think they're going to be a team that can be one. They may not necessarily, rack up all the wins, but I think they're going to be a team that can surprise some folks and get a couple of extra wins that they maybe didn't think that they could have. And so, speaking of that, here is their schedule, and this is what I have happening for them. I have them going 8-9 this season. I think they improve, and I think they, make some strides. They were 7-10 last year. I think they split with New Orleans. I think they split with Carolina. I don't think they get anything against Tampa Bay. I do have some wins over like Seattle, Cleveland. I think they can get San Francisco. I have them beating Chicago, Washington, and Pittsburgh. but I do see them struggling against teams like the Chargers, against Tampa Bay, against the Rams. I do see them struggling a little bit on that. So, Falcon fans, I want y'all to give me your thoughts on this schedule as you see it. Do you like the 8-9 of the Falcons? Do you like where I have them going? So leave me your comments there as we talk about the NFC South. And I see Bonfire Johnny Goodman saying who cares? Tighten up. Look, for a lot of Titan fans out here, I appreciate some of y'all coming in, but this is me trying to branch out a little bit further and not just talk about the Tennessee Titans, but I'm also trying to branch out and talk about other teams in the NFL too. So I'm trying to expand my horizons and talk about other teams as well. This is the Truth League Report. We're going all over the NFL. So, TNT tonight, that's going to be very Titan-centric. Truth League Report, we're going to be talking all about the NFL everywhere around the league. So, I mean, come on. If y'all, a lot of y'all I know are Titans fans, but a lot of y'all are football fans. So, y'all just come on in. Let me know what you think. And make sure, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do so. And also hit that bell and put all, so that way you are in the know of everything that's going on. And also just make sure you smash that like button as well and everything. So I know this is a new journey for me and everything. So y'all come along with me on that. And also, if you're not able to get to YouTube and everything or Facebook, this show and all the other shows on the Titans and Truth Sports channel, which will become the Truth Sports Podcast Network, will be available on Spotify. Will be available on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Apple Podcasts, and on Google Podcasts as well. So definitely check those out too. Titans and Truth, we're going to keep here on the Truth League Report, and we're going to move on to the Carolina Panthers now, as this team has some questions. They have some legitimate questions, particularly at quarterback. That's where they have a lot of questions because, the quarterback mystery is definitely there. Who is going to be the starting quarterback of this team? Is it going to be, Sam Darnold? Or is it going to be Baker Mayfield? So that's kind of where, the questions go as far as, all of these teams. Who is going to be the starting quarterback? That's going to be the main question. They have a legit quarterback competition, and Matt Corral is probably not going to be in the picture. He is just definitely not going to be in the picture at all whatsoever. So we're going to definitely find out. And the other question I have is, will Run CMC make a comeback? Can Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, make a comeback? Can he put it all together and really step up? That's going to be the major question for him because he's been hurt the last couple of years. And so I don't think he's returned to that form. There was some trade talk involving him when they were talking about possibly getting Deshaun Watson. So that is going to be the question. Can Christian McCaffrey get back to being the guy that he is, who made the Pro Bowl and was all pro, not only as a running back, but as a wide receiver as well, because he did a lot of catching out of the backfield. So McCaffrey only had 442 rushing yards and a touchdown. He caught 37 passes for 343 yards and a touchdown in 7 games. DJ Moore has transcended 93 catches, 1,157 yards, 4 TDs. He got paid last year, making over $20 million a year. So he is a undercover, very good receiver. Jeremy Chin, who they picked up in the first round a few years back, and one of their leading tacklers at 107 tackles. And Brian Burns, who has definitely improved tremendously, as a pass rusher. I liked him coming out of Florida State. Of course, he made the top 100 list recently. So, he's definitely somebody that is there. And also Shaq Thompson. I can't forget about him as well. So I like some of those guys, definitely for the Carolina Panthers. And I want to say Robbie Anderson could be a trade out there. I know he's going back to Carolina. I know he was part of some trade talk and things like that too, but he's still in Carolina. So Carolina does have a couple of nice pieces that they can build around with whoever is the quarterback. They brought in Austin Corbett to help on the offensive line, 3 years, $26 million. They also brought in Xavier Woods, the former Minnesota safety, and also that's Xavier Rhodes, excuse me. But Xavier Woods comes in, 3 years, $15 million to play safety. Rashad Higgins also coming in, the former Cleveland Brown wide receiver as well. But they lost one of their leading pass rushers in Hassan Reddick. He goes to Philly and got paid. Stephon Gilmore, who they traded for from New England, ends up going to Indianapolis. And then former Tennessee Titan and also former Carolina Panther defensive lineman Daquan Jones goes to Buffalo. So they did lose a couple of pieces, mainly on defense. So there's the question is, how is their defense going to end up looking? And so as far as their draft goes, I mean, they definitely had to make some strides. They only had a few picks to work with. They went ahead and got Ikem Ekwonu, the offensive tackle from NC State, with the 6th pick of the first round. Then they go and get Matt Corral, who he needs work. He's going to definitely have to sit for at least a year or two. And then also, of course, they went ahead and got former Tennessee Vol offensive guard Cade Mays in the 6th round. They got a very fast corner in Kalen Barnes from Baylor in the 7th round, who they could provide some value. And with his speed, they might be able to use him maybe in special teams as a returner as well. So he can definitely keep up with some of those fast receivers as well. So I definitely like the NC State tackle for them in the 1st round. Matt Corral, I think with some time, could be better than you think. We're definitely going to find out with that. And so, the Panthers are in a rebuild stage under Matt Rule. And Matt Rule had maybe a little bit too much power, maybe was a bit overwhelmed. They brought back Cam Newton last year to kind of help with the quarterback situation for the time being. So, again, the Panthers can only go anywhere but up at this point. But some questions I have for them, again, can Run CMC make a comeback? That is a legit question. Can he make a comeback and get back to form? I don't know if he can yet. I just think there's too much injury concern. He is extremely talented. When fully healthy, he's one of the best players in the league because he can do it all. He runs the ball well between the tackles. He catches out the backfield. You can line him up in the slot or outside. You can line him up anywhere, and he's going to produce. The only problem is injuries. And then, who is the answer at quarterback? Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold? I want to say that I think they really want to believe in Sam Darnold. But his past has preceded him. He's a guy that sees ghosts sometimes with pass rush. So sometimes he tends to struggle with getting the ball out when the pass rush is coming. And Baker is more experienced. So I think they're going to go with Baker Mayfield to start off week 1. That's where I think they're going to go. I think they're going with Baker Mayfield as the answer at quarterback. And so looking at their schedule for the Panthers, they went 5-12 last year. I think they go 5-12 again this year. I think the Baker rematch with Cleveland doesn't go well. I think they beat the Giants because I just think the Giants are going to suck. Then I have them losing the next 7 straight because I just don't know if they're going to beat these teams. They're going to split with New Orleans. I think they'll get New Orleans at the end of the year, but not at the beginning. Arizona, they usually start off hot. I think they get a win there. San Francisco, now that one could go either way. But I think San Francisco is much better defensively, and I just think, and they have the better running game as well. Even though I do like, and I forgot to mention, Carolina got Deontay Foreman as well. So I do like, I think Deontay Foreman is a guy that could be very, very good. So don't get me wrong on that. But then I also see them getting a win against Atlanta at home. I think they get Seattle in Seattle because I just think Seattle's going to stink. They have no quarterback. Pittsburgh was the question. And I didn't mark this one, but I just don't see them winning that game at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a tough place to play, so I just think they'll lose that one. They beat Detroit. Let me see. Yeah, they beat Detroit, and then they lose to Tampa Bay, and then they get New Orleans at the end. So again, I have the Carolina Panthers going 5-12 again. And that's just kind of what I think when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. Titans of Truth here. Definitely glad some of you could join us. And we're gonna keep trugging along. And we are going to now get into the New Orleans Saints. Now, and WhoDat. So WhoDat Nation, stand up, it's your turn. As you have the background of the Caesars Superdome right there. They, of course, finished 9-8 last year. Definitely, future quarterback. I mean, Jameis Winston is the starting quarterback now. Can he be Jameis Winston that we saw coming out of Florida State? Or is he going to be the Jameis Winston that threw 30 interceptions one year and pretty much broke a record for the most interceptions thrown in a year? Also, there was no Michael Thomas last year. And that really hindered their offense a whole lot because Michael Thomas is a playmaker, is a big play guy. And then this is going to be their first year without Sean Payton as head coach. So Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, takes over as head coach of this team. And so this is kind of a new beginning for the New Orleans Saints as well, coming back. Now, some guys, of course, Jameis Winston came back. Of course, they had Taysom Hill. They split some time and things like that. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out for the New Orleans Saints. And then also Alvin Kamara. I didn't mention with him, he right now could get suspended because he got involved in a fight in Vegas. He got involved in a fight in Vegas back in February. And now the question is he going to be suspended, for at least the first 6 games? That's going to be a question. He's an all-purpose guy, similar to Christian McCaffrey. He could run it out of the backfield and also can catch out of the backfield as well. Again, the aforementioned Michael Thomas, missed all of last season. He's going to be coming back from injury. Lamario Davis has been a defensive staple. You got Cam Jordan, who had 12.5 sacks, and Marshawn Lattimore, who is one heck of a corner. A couple of guys that they brought in. They bring in Tyrann Mathieu. Honey Badger comes back to his home state, along with Jarvis Landry. Both of them former LSU guys. So those are a couple of guys that they could definitely help. And they definitely will have some weapons with Landry, with Michael Thomas. You got some other guys, Chris Olave, the draft pick, who I really like. I like him a whole lot. Marquez Callaway, Mark Ingram is back. in New Orleans as well. So I definitely do like that. So departures, Marcus Williams, the safety, got a big deal with Baltimore. Teron Armstead, the star left tackle, goes to Miami. And Quan Alexander goes to New York. To the Jets, excuse me. So they did lose a couple of pieces on offense. A big time tackle gets paid, and then one of their safeties gets paid as well. As I mentioned in the draft, they go and get, they had 2 first-round picks, and they got a couple of good ones. Chris Olave, who I extremely loved from Ohio State, comes in and probably is going to start along with Michael Thomas at wide receiver. Trevor Penning has a chance to take over at a tackle position, and, you got Ryan Ramczyk on one side, Trevor Penning trying to see if he could take over at left tackle on the other side. And I think this New Orleans offensive line could get good again. The question is going to be at left tackle. So that's going to be the main question. Of course, Alontae Taylor, former Tennessee Vol, as well. So they had a couple of nice picks that they brought in. And so the questions I have for New Orleans is, how can Dennis Allen replace Sean Payton? Well, he still has Pete Carmichael. He has Pete Carmichael still as the offensive coordinator as well, and he does a pretty good job as far as being an offensive coordinator. So he's basically going to run the offense, and Dennis Allen's probably going to be hands-on more with the defensive side of the ball. And that's really going to be a lot, because this is a new journey for the New Orleans Saints with a new head coach in Dennis Allen. So we're going to definitely see how they do with Jameis Winston as their quarterback. And can Jameis Winston make the best of this second chance for him? Again, the New Orleans Saints defense has been known to be pretty good. You got Cam Jordan. You got Marcus Davenport, Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore. You bring in Tyrann Mathieu in their Honey Badger. So this Saints defense could still be very good. The question on the offense is at quarterback. Can Jameis Winston make the best of this second chance? That's going to be the question. And that's going to be the key. He cannot throw a bunch of interceptions, because if he does, they're not going to look good at all. And so, he improved last year. He only threw 3 interceptions, but he didn't play the entire season. He didn't play the entire season as the starting quarterback. He kind of came in the middle. Trevor Siemian was starting out as quarterback, and then they went to Jameis Winston after Siemian got hurt. So that's going to be the main questions there. As far as the Saints go in their schedule, I got them improving. I think they go 10-7. And I really think they are the only team in this division that will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they sweep the Atlanta Falcons. Well, I know I said they split with the Atlanta Falcons because I think Atlanta's going to be good. I think they split with Carolina. I think they slip up at the end of the year and fall to Carolina, but I think they split with them. And I think they also split with Tampa Bay as well. So I have them going 3-3 in the division. I have them beating Tampa Bay early. I have them kind of winning 5 straight games. I think they get on a roll. I think they upset Cincinnati. I think they definitely do that. I think with Minnesota, I think they get a win in London. But I think they do struggle with Arizona and the Raiders. But I think they pick it back up with wins over Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But then they struggle with the Rams, the 49ers, and the Buccaneers. And then they win 3 straight with Atlanta, Cleveland, and Philly, and fall at the end to Carolina. So I have them finishing 10-7 on the year. So Titans of Truth here on the Truth League Report. And before we go any further, if you end up liking this show and you want some TNT swag, some Titans of Truth swag, definitely hit me up. My email is canewell817@gmail.com. Also, you can hit me up on any of the pages that's on the ticker below at TNT Enforcers, Titans in Truth, the official fan page, on Instagram at Titans_in_truth, or on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. For t-shirts, you can also contact Miss Latoya Akinyemi at Queen Butterfly Tees on Instagram, or queenbutterflytees@gmail.com. And tell her Chris of Titans in Truth sent you. She'll know who I am. Also, if you want Titans in Truth hats, you can definitely hit them up at Out the Crib Customs. That's at out_the_crib_customs on Instagram. And he can even have them made in your team's colors as well, and it'll say Titans in Truth on it. So you could definitely do that as well. So TNT continuing here, and now we're gonna go now to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that nearly could have gotten back to the Super Bowl this year, but got stopped by the LA Rams on their way to that Super Bowl. Former Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, Tom Brady comes back for year 44. He's about to turn 45. He said he would try to play till 45. So this may end up being Tom Brady's last year. Of course, they're going to be doing some joint practices with the Tennessee Titans starting tomorrow, which is my birthday, by the way. So hitting everybody out there. But they came in after being 13-4 last year. As much as I am not a fan of Tom Brady, he was great as usual. Antonio Brown, of course, melted down during the season and walked away from the team during a game against the Jets. And then, as I mentioned, that early exit from the playoffs. What's up, Two Tone Zone? What's going on, my friend? And so Tampa Bay is going to come in as the favorite to win this division, and they might be a team that could get back to the Super Bowl once again. So you got Brady coming back at 44, led the league in passing, threw for 5,000 yards again, 5,300 to be exact, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both had 1,000-yard years, and they bring in Russell Gage as well. And then Devin White, of course, 3.5 sacks, 128 tackles. He's going to be back there with Levante David. And, they have Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett. They are loaded on both sides of the ball. And so, of course, as I mentioned, some key additions. They brought in Russell Gage. They just brought in Julio Jones at receiver, not at offensive line, excuse me for that. And Akeem Hicks, I believe, formerly of Chicago as well. But they did lose Alex Kappa, one of their guards. I believe he went to Jacksonville. I can't remember where he went exactly. Jordan Whitehead, their safety, and then Jason Pierre-Paul is still a free agent, I believe. If I am wrong, Bucs fans, correct me on that if you don't mind. In the draft, what the Bucs went ahead and did, they went ahead and got Logan Hall, the defensive tackle from Houston, who I've heard has impressed so far with the Buccaneers. They really, really like him. They got Luke Gadecki, offensive tackle from Central Michigan. They got a running back out of Arizona State. Kay Odden, the tight end from Washington, who I was kind of scouting for the Tennessee Titans. So I definitely do like a few picks that they did make in Tampa Bay. But the questions I have, does a 44-year-old Tom Brady, Golden Boy, have one more in him? Does he have one more in him? Power Hour, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow. So definitely getting ready for that. I will definitely be doing a show tomorrow TNT tonight, probably a little bit earlier than I normally would, because I'm probably gonna be going out to enjoy my birthday and stuff. But TNT, but again, can Tom Brady, does he have one more run in him? That's gonna be the main question. I mean, as much as I cannot believe I'm going to say this, he is the GOAT. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that is going to be, we all know this. As much as I can't stand him, I got to give the devil his due. But that's just me personally. But again, does he have one more run in him? I think they're definitely going to try. Him and Bruce Arians are definitely going to run it as long as they possibly can. And I mean, you got, again, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Julio Jones. So they got targets for days. Now, can Leonard Fournette come back to form? Because he struggled, last year. He struggled big time last year. There was issues maybe with the weight and things like that. So there were some problems there for Leonard Fournette. Ronald Jones II, he's gone. Keyshawn Vaughn is going to have to step up some and things like that. So, I mean, there's going to be, some pressure on that running game to definitely help them out as well. And Cameron Brate is still good. They brought in Kyle Rudolph. So, I mean, they got some weapons on that offensive side of the ball. And so Tampa Bay is going to be very, very good. I definitely agree with that. The other question I have is, can this Tampa Bay defense continue to return to form with Devin White? Devin White's going to really be the lead on this one. And, you got Vita Vea, who is a wide load in the middle. Very hard to block. With that Joe Tryon, who is very good as a pass rusher. Again, the aforementioned Shaquille Barrett. Antoine Whitfield, an excellent safety who also made the top 100 list just recently. And an old familiar name, Logan Ryan. Once again, joins his old cohort, Tom Brady, in Tampa Bay. So this defense does have a chance to get back to form and be able to continue to be just that very good team they have always been. So I like Tampa Bay. I think the Bucs are going to be extremely good. I have them, and I didn't put this on here, I have them going 13-3 again. I have them going 13-3. Well, I take that back. Not 13-3, 12-5. I think they go 12-5. They win the division again. I have them beating Dallas to open the year. I think they beat Green Bay. Another victory I have them. I think they are definitely circled week 9 against the Rams on their schedule. They want some revenge. I think they get it there. Again, I think they split with New Orleans. I think they sweep Carolina. And they sweep Atlanta. I really do think they do that. But I have them struggling against San Francisco. I think Kansas City has them circled. I think Kansas City beats them at home as well. And I just think they're going to have a stinker somewhere. And I think that one stinker is against Baltimore. And I think they're going to have a stinker in San Francisco against the 49ers. Every team has at least one stinker. And I think those two are that. San Francisco and Baltimore, I think, are a couple of stinkers that they have. But I have the Buccaneers going 13-4 on the year. So, again, the Truth League report, I have the Buccaneers winning the division at 12-5. I have the Saints right there with them at 10-7. I have the Falcons at 8-9. And then I have the Panthers at 5-12. And that's kind of how I have the NFC South shaping out. Again, let me know Falcons, Bucks, Saints, Panthers fans. Let me know if y'all agree with me or disagree with me on that. Again, y'all can follow any of these channels right here. You follow any of these channels there, and also the ticker below. Make sure you follow that right there for all of your all of your truth needs. And I think that's going to just about do it for this Truth League report previewing the NFC South. Also, if you want, definitely go back and enjoy. If you're just a fan of football, I did an AFC South preview as well. So definitely go back and check that out. Next week, we are going to go north. We're going to talk about the NFC North. We're also going to talk about the AFC North as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. So Steeler fans, Browns, Lions, Ravens, Packers, Vikings, all of y'all. I know I'm forgetting a few. Browns and Bears. We're going to be talking about all of y'all next week right here on the Truth League Report. Again, make sure y'all smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go right ahead. And again, the Truth League Report will be coming each and every Monday night. So definitely stay tuned for that. And also going to be available on where you can find all of your podcasts. I thank everybody for tuning into the show. Out the Crib Customs, what's going on, man? Y'all definitely make sure y'all hit him up for all of your hat needs, like this one that I have on right now. So definitely hit him up. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. Definitely, hopefully, y'all like the show. Let me know what you think and subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all next week as we go north.